What's up YouTube? For tonight's video we have a full Pokemon contest team. Make sure you leave your theme teams as usual in the comment section below. The highest sum up comment will be the winner, or you may be picked for a Mystery Monday, which definitely always lands on Monday. Okay, this one is for Patreon guys. If you do want your theme team done for you, check that out in the description of the video. Now, these battles are all done on my live chat. This one was against Matthew. If you do want to have a battle against me, I do grab battles there most days. Okay, so I've got my, I got a Sneasel lead against the Electivire. Now, this Sneasel I've used loads and loads of times. It does work pretty good, but there is a high risk, high reward to it. So I've got Fake Out on here. I've got Beat Up. So Beat Up works really nicely. You can get the 6 initial hits there, and I've given it Razor Fang, so you've got a chance of the some scumbag action there. So I've got Icicle Crash on there for flinch as well, and I've got Fling on there to fling. Say you can go Fake Out, then flings. You can get 2 flinches in a row, then attack. So that's I generally hold Fling back for as long as I can, so I can get the most out of Beat Up. Beat Up tends to, at end game it tends to not be as effective because you don't have as many Pokemon. So then you can use stuff like Fling to get double flinches. Okay, so Delphox comes in here and goes for the Fire Blast. It outspeeds him. I'm like, okay, that's definitely Choice Scarf. So that's my Sneasel down. Now, I did predict something like that would happen, but I wasn't sure. I thought it could be a bluff, so I kept it in. But that's how it is. I guess it was a 50-50 decision. I thought about that one for a little while. Okay, so here I've got my Bufflin. This is a Choice Scarf set as well. I'm going for the Retaliate here. I need to get some revenge, and that bulky Amoonguss takes it so well. Fungus, sorry about that. That's a Everlight set, and it's probably got Regenerated because it's now going to swap out and come into the Steelix. So I was like, well, this isn't too bad. If Steelix doesn't have like leftovers stuff, I can get rid of its Sturdy. Okay, so it doesn't have Rocky Helmet or leftovers or anything like that, so that's pretty interesting what item it would be. At the moment, I really wasn't sure. Okay, so swapping into my defensive Machoke here, it's going to go for the Earth Power, which is cool, going for a special set, and that does quite a bit of damage to me, so I was like, maybe it's Choice Specs or something like that, or maybe it's an Assault Vest set. I don't really know at the moment, but those items are starting to pop up in my mind, just thinking what a set could be. Okay, so going for the Dynamic Punch anyway. Now, this is, as I said, this is a defensive Machoke. I've got max health, max defense with Everlight. I've got No Guard, Rest. I've got Sleep Talk, Dynamic Punch, and Toxic. The 100% Toxic is nice too, so you can't miss. It's really just tanking all defensive hits, dishing out some damage with Dynamic Punch, and obviously spreading confusion and status through the rest of the team. Obviously, it's got its counters too, but it suited this team pretty nicely. Couldn't really do much to Fungus. It absorbed my Toxic, obviously, and Dynamic Punch was basically doing nothing here. Okay, so here I believe I went for the Sleep Talk here, just to try and get at least one off before I had to swap. Fortunately, I got the Toxic here. Dynamic Punch would have been good too, some damage and a confusion, but I thought Longevity Toxic would be better. Okay, so expecting some sort of Psychic move to come my way. So I thought, let's go into Meloetta here. I've got an Assault Vest Meloetta. I've got max attack and max speed. Now, this is an interesting Meloetta set. I've got Relics on because I want to change it to Pirouette form. Now, Pirouette form changes its stats quite drastically. Like it can change it from being a special attacker to attacker. Like its stats really change, and its speed as well. It's quite interesting there. Now, I've got Relic Song, I've got Close Combat, and I've got Last Resort. So I've got 2 very powerful stab moves there. I know, obviously, it's Walled by Ghost. I know that already, but I just wanted to try it out. Okay, so going for the Relic Song here. It does decent damage there to Earth Ring. I don't have any special attack EVs or anything. It's just wanted to change my form. Now, I was like, well, I can go for Close Combat here. Even if one of the Pokemon comes in to tank that or whatever, I then can use Last Resort, because with Last Resort, you need to use your other moves first before you can use it. Okay, so Fungus is going to come in here. That does like nothing to it, basically. It's got Regenerated now. I can see that. I kind of figured it would have that at the start. Anyway, okay, so Fungus is going to swap out here, get its Regenerator back, which is health, and Delphox is going to come in here. Now, I go for the Last Resort here because I thought that'd be my best option. Steelix probably isn't going to want to be swapping into a Close Combat, and that just demolishes Delphox there. That's really good. Okay, so I was happy to get rid of the Choice Scarf Delphox because that was an issue. Right, Steelix is going to come in here. Now, I knew that I probably wouldn't quite take it out with Close Combat. Steelix has got very nice base defenses, and I just missed the kill there, which sucks. I do have Assault Vest on this set, so I thought, well, that's going to make up for the drop there, and I should probably barely live this one, and I get critted there. But that's how it was. I think that did matter, but I'm not too sure there. As I said, I was holding an assault vest, but it doesn't matter anyway. So I'm going to swap in my Exploud here. Now I'm running a physical Exploud. I've got Howl on this set. It works very nicely. I've got Facade with the Toxic Orb. I've got Earthquake, and I've got Zen Headbutt to cover any like fighting types and stuff like that. Now I'm actually running Speed EVs on this one, and I'm running Attack EVs. Right, so Frogadier is going to come in here and go for the Hydro Pump. Since I'm so bulky, just in general, like nature of my stats, I do take that Hydro Pump. It's got Life Orb too, so I took a very powerful hit there. And I'm going to go for the Facade here, and that's definitely going to take Frogadier out for sure. So that's, it's quite powerful. Facade and Toxic Orb is always quite powerful. Even with, and even not with the greatest attack in the world, it still does hit quite hard. If you can get some howls up, it even hits even harder. Okay, so going for the Facade again. I knew this definitely wouldn't take it out. I just wanted to get some damage off. And I actually wanted it to kill me so I could, swap my Buffalo in and use Retaliate. Unfortunately, I just live and the Toxic is actually going to take me out. So that was a worst case scenario there. I can't use either. I can't use the boost on my Buffalo. So it's like, I'm going to have to swap it in anyway. Let's do it. Let's go for the Retaliate here. And like, it can't use Giga Draining. It doesn't want to use like any of those types of moves against me. So I'm going to go for the Retaliate here and take the Fungus out. So that's good. Finally, that's gone. It's so bulky. Looks can be deceiving there for sure. Okay, so Ursaring's going to come in here. I'm in quite a strong situation in this battle. I've got 3 of my Pokemon left. This was a nice Ursaring set too. They had a couple of interesting sets, which was good. Right, so they're going to set up the bulk up on the Ursaring here, which was interesting. I was like, I wonder what this set's going to be, because it had leftovers, so it didn't have anything like Flame Orb or anything like that. So I was like, wonder what this set is. It might be really, really bulky. Okay, so now it's going to go for the Facade. I was like, okay, that's interesting. It crits me, so that really didn't do any damage to my Machoke at all. I'm basically can take this easy. So here I'm going to go for the Sleep Talk, and I get Toxic instead of Dynamic Punch. RIP. So I was like, okay, I wonder if this is going to be Quick Feet or Guts. So I was like, well, the next Facade I'm definitely going to find out there. Okay, so that Toxic is basically going to get rid of the leftover recovery, and it's his last Pokemon too. The only thing I was worried about is if it had Rest or anything. I wasn't really sure at this point in time. Okay, so I go down like a sack of potatoes, and that's my Machoke gone. So I was like, definitely it's got Guts. I didn't 100% know that until then. So I thought, well, I can bring a Buffalo in here, go for the Retaliate, or if it's got Rest, it's going to go for Rest, and then I'm going to be in a situation where I'm locked in Retaliate, and it's got a +1 in defense, so that won't be good. So I thought I'd swap in my Gothitelle here. This is a special set, and it's interesting. So it turned out it did have Rest, so I was right. I had a feeling when I started seeing leftovers and bulk up and no Flame Orb, bells were starting to ring. So on this set, I've got my Thunder Wave, I've got Flatter, I've got Charge Beam, and I've got Psychic with Competitive. Now, the idea is to Parafusion with Flatter. Like, Flatter is, obviously, it's risky, but it can work too. So that's the whole risk in front of it. Okay, so it's hit itself in Confusion. That's good. So the idea now was, I know that it can't boost its special defense anymore, so I'm going to go for a couple of Charge Beams, try and get that up. It doesn't seem to be overly bulked up in attack. I'd say most of its EVs are in defenses, so I do have a couple of, maybe, I can probably live maybe one really badly and then, go for a Psychic and then try and finish it with Buffalo. That was my plan was. Anyway, okay, so Ursaring's going for the Sleep Talk here, and it's going to get bulk up again, which is pretty good for me because that means it didn't attack. So I'm definitely know I'm going to be hit by a Facade. It's going to be around a 2-hit KO still, because it's not boosted or anything by Sleep. It's only boosted by all the other statuses. Okay, so going for the Psychic now. That's doing alright damage. Ursaring actually wakes up there, and it's going to hit itself in Confusion again, which was good for me there. Right, so I was like, well, I can probably get Psychic off here. It won't take it out, but it'll get very, very close. Okay, going for the Psychic here. I thought the Ursaring may go for Rest again, but it's actually going to... I actually get a special defense drop there, which is really nice. It snaps out of Confusion and goes for the Facade to try and act... Oh my, I barely said that. I barely got that one out there, and that's going to... I'm going to live that one too. Obviously... I can't talk at the moment, sorry. Obviously, most of that was in bulk like I thought it was. But that's it for this battle. Some interesting teams there on both sides. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I may have another team up earlier or later on tonight. We'll just see how I feel. Okay, guys. Enjoy the bloopers. Peace.